Hello, my beautiful people. Good morning. It is a Saturday, and we are here for sprints. And Daniel's just telling me about a bath mat. How interesting. I did tell him that I was ready to go live, but never mind. So I've decided to do some reading sprints this morning. I'm not feeling the best. I'm still feeling the cold. How rude. An airplane is flying over. But I need some motivation to do some reading because my reading has been really good recently, but I just need a bit more motivation on a Saturday to get me going. Now, I started yesterday Dogs of Summer, and I can't remember who it's by. It's like Andre, uh, someone, and I am 73% of the way through, and on my Kindle it says I've got 43 minutes left. So I am going to blitz that hopefully in the first sprint. I'm thinking of doing 40 minutes for the first sprint if everybody is okay with that. And then I was thinking maybe like 45 or maybe an hour, maybe. We'll see. If you can hear music in the background, I apologize. It's actually Daniel in the shower. And if you hear him singing, that's a bonus. But good morning, Danny. How are you? Are you going to be reading today? Good morning, Steph. How are you? What are you going to be reading today? I feel like there's an echo. Can everybody hear an echo? Mm, I've got Daniel's laptop for the timer, and I felt like I could hear myself speaking there. Danny is reading Lady Midnight, loving it. Have you finished Crescent City yet? I can't remember. I have cold brain, so I just cannot remember. Lol, Daniel. Yep. Rude. I mean, are you reading? Is it rude? I've got my reading bug back. I read 3 books last weekend. Oh my god, you read 3 books last weekend? That is really good. Actually, I do remember you telling me that you finished Crescent City. I'm a terrible friend. I could not remember. We were also falling a little bit, so I apologize for that. This is just a nice, cozy, comfy, haven't brushed my hair, still in my pajamas, reading sprint moment. So, if everybody could grab a beverage, and if you're in your pajamas chilling, grab your book, and we're going to read together. That's what we're going to do today. I'm good reading only on the weekends. What are you reading today, Steph? I'm interested to find out what you're reading. Yes, I messaged you. Yes, as I said, terrible friend, fool's a cold. My brain is not working. So for that, I apologize. Um, but yeah, these are just going to be nice, chill sprints. I've never done solo sprints before either, so this is a new adventure for me. After doing the live show the other day, I mean, Steph was there. After doing the live show the other day, I did it on my own and I was absolutely terrified. And then I thought, you know what? Let's take life by the cojones and do sprints by myself. So that is what we're doing. Danny says, morning, Steph. Steph said, that's the name of the book, Only on the Weekends. It's by the same guy who wrote Black Flamingo. Oh, I've never heard of that before. I genuinely thought you were only reading on weekends. I'm so sorry. Morning, Danny. Love chilled sprints. Yeah, there's not going to be any chaos. It's just going to be nice, chill, get some reading done. But how does everyone feel about a 40-minute sprint to start us off? Is everybody happy with that? Or do you want a bit longer? I am pretty open to anything. I also have no idea what I'm going to read next, so I need some help picking my next book. I keep toying with Fourth Wing, but I want to do a dedicated reading vlog for Fourth Wing. Why is there all the airplanes? Is everyone just going on holiday like today? Like, what is happening? Devastated. Same Katie. 40 is great for Danny. Cool. But yeah, I keep toying with Fourth Wing, and then I'm like, I just don't know if I want to do a dedicated reading vlog on Fourth Wing just now. I don't know if I'm ready for it. It's very mixed reviews. I don't know if I'm going to hate it. Am I going to be one of the people that hate it? I don't know. That's good. I'm currently trying to heat my porridge in the microwave. I can tell you a really funny story about heating porridge in the microwave. So a couple of years ago, I would have porridge for breakfast like every day. And I had this like it looked like a Game Boy, like microwavable box thing that you would use to put it into said microwave. And I'd used it for ages. Like it was always serving its purpose. It was always cooking my porridge to perfection. And I would eat out of it and it was great. And it would go in the dishwasher and it was awesome. But one day I put it in the microwave and it basically collapsed in on itself. And it was like melted plastic and it was horrific. And that was the end of my porridge journey. Nice fun fact for you there. But I hope that doesn't happen to your porridge, Steph. But also if you want to do longer, that's no problem. I think 40 minutes is like a good, nice little steady easing in. I don't know how long I'm going to sprint for today because I'm going to a barbecue later on today. That's kind of out the road, but Daniel's going to be going to work. So I just thought I've done all my washing, I've done all the cleaning type things, and I feel rubbish. So I just want to chill and read this morning. I'm the same. I went to start it, then I wasn't sure. I'm just a bit concerned that I'll hate it, and I don't really want to do a dedicated reading vlog tearing a book apart saying I hate it. But I've heard it's really smutty, and I've not read something smutty for a while. The last thing I read that was smutty was Haunting and Hunting Adeline, and that was a journey that I'm not sure I've actually recovered from and probably need therapy after reading it. I kind of wish I'd done dedicated reading vlogs on them, but I didn't. Oh, sorry, I missed Steph's comment. It's in a bowl and can't get it to be thick enough. Oh, I hate when that happens. When it's like sloppy. You don't want sloppy porridge. You want nice, thick, wholesome porridge. Hey Hattie. Hey, currently sitting in Starbucks and going to read and write. What are you reading today? Danny says hello. It's so nice for all of you to join on this nice sunny Saturday morning. It's meant to be up to like 25 degrees or something in Aberdeen today. That is like unheard of. I know like down south in England and things, it will probably be hotter. It'll be well into the 30s, but we don't get that up here. So I will be putting on Factor 50 today when I go to that barbecue and making sure that I do not get burnt because nobody wants that. I'm not a fan of porridge. That's okay. Like, what's everybody's favorite breakfast food? Like, I love breakfast. It's one of my favorite forms of food. Like, I love a cooked breakfast. I love a sausage sandwich. That is like my go-to. I like that. And I love poached eggs, but I can't make them. Poached eggs on like sourdough toast. Delicious. Only baby porridge, aka the smooth stuff. I'm too tired to remember the name. I have no idea what that is. Like, see when porridge is really runny, it reminds me of rice pudding. I don't know if anyone's ever had rice pudding, but like, no. Mm-mm. Blech. Nope. Feel like it's already there, Katie. My flat is at 24 degrees already. Oh my goodness. It's quite warm in here, to be fair. This room, the sun, like, my back garden is a sun trap, and this room is at the back of the house, and the sun just blares in. So I've got the blinds closed because I do not want to be annihilated by the sun. Um, through Blood and Dragons, and I'm taking part in a read along where I have to answer questions at certain points. That sounds like fun. I really like that. I love when there's read alongs and then you've got to answer questions at certain points and you've got to read up to certain bits and then discuss it. And then I love that. I love the interaction that that brings. Ready, Brett, Danny. I still think of the scrambled eggs smoked sausage you made so yummy. Yeah, everybody thinks that's really weird. But I I really like it. When Danny came to stay, God, my brain. I make scrambled eggs with smoked sausage, like cut through it, and then I serve it like on potato waffles. It sounds so bizarre for breakfast, but it's actually delicious. So yeah, that's it, Steph. So it was Ready Breck. I don't know if I've ever had Ready Breck before. I have is it Quaker Oats? Is that the one that I have? I'm not really sure. I think it's Quaker Oats, the one with the like Quaker for the hat. That is a thing. I haven't dreamed that. I think that's a thing. Hello, good morning. How are you? Have you started How High We Go in the Dark yet? I have not. That sounds amazing to me. It is really tasty, Steph. I really enjoy it. It's really good. You should try it. It fills you up as well. It's really good. That's the one I have, Katie. You're correct. It is a thing. Quaker Oats is a thing. Brilliant. I'm glad. I didn't know if I just pulled that out of thin air or not. So yeah, shall we get started on reading, because I'm just rambling about porridge. And some people don't need to hear about that. So is everybody happy to start sprinting for 40 minutes and see how we get on, and then come back and we can kind of decide what we're going to do after that? Not yet, but I do own it now. It's staring me down. I'm really excited to start it. So excited. It's just sitting there, and I think Daniel's going to read it as well this month, which is really cool. I've managed to read 10 books this month already somehow. How? You are a machine. Oh, I wish I had your stamina. I really do. Whoa, hi. That's amazing. Currently 198 pages into Through Blood and Dragons. I feel like Through Blood and Dragons is going to be quite a tome. Like a tome? A tome? Like a chonky book, I'd imagine. It sounds, I'm guessing it's fantasy, just from the title, but I could be completely wrong. But I'm just guessing, say fantasy. Sorry, I needed a wee tea break there. My throat is not doing the best. But yeah, shall we start sprinting and then come back and see how we are all feeling? And if we want to do a longer sprint, we can. But I'm going to set up the timer. Ta-da! This is the best that I can do with the computer today. Can I maybe do that? Oh, I like that better. Right, so we are going to start sprinting, and I will see you all in 40 minutes. It didn't work. Oh my goodness. Why? There we go. Hello. I didn't have a noise, so you've got a croaky hello returning. How did everyone get on with their reading? I did not finish my book. I only got I'm at 90%, so it says I think I've got like 11 minutes left of it. I was saying bye to Daniel before he left for work, so I got a little bit distracted. Yeah, I've got 12 minutes left of my book. Yeah, I forgot to say the book I was reading, I wasn't very good at describing the book that I was reading. It's very strange. It's this one, Dogs of Summer by Andrea Abreu. It's a really short one. It's translated from Spanish, I think. There's a lot of Spanish in it. And it's about two girls growing up and kind of discovering their bodies and things, but it's really weird. There's a lot of talk of shit. Like a lot of talk of shit. It's really bizarre. I've not really read something like this before. I don't think it's gonna be my favourite. I think it's sitting at 3-star. It was a bit I don't know if I'm clever enough to get it. Maybe that's what the problem is. I don't know. But I am gonna finish that in the next sprint, and then I maybe need help to decide what to read next because I'm really stumped. I don't know. Hattie was saying she's 500 page. It's 500 pages fantasy with dragons. Okay, so I was right. It is a fantasy book. 500 pages, Hattie. You'll get that finished like absolutely no problem whatsoever. Morning everyone. Morning Catherine. Catherine's just in for food shop, going to cook myself some breakfast. What did you cook yourself for breakfast? We were having a big breakfast chat before we did a sprint there. I'm always intrigued to hear what people are eating. Catherine said, hi Danny. Then hi Catherine. Danny read about 50 pages. That's amazing. Well done. Steph ate her porridge. Ate their porridge, made my bed, did the breakfast dishes, and listened to my book. Steph, remind me what you're reading again. Again, cold brain. I can't remember things very well just now, so I apologize. I had to wake up and do some organizing, but I managed 14 pages. What are you reading? I'm not sure you said what you were reading this time around. Remind me the name of the book, Katie. That's the one that I just showed you. It's Dogs of Summer. Like I said, it's really bizarre. I don't know if I'm clever enough to fully understand it. Give us some options. I really don't know. Like Fourth Wing's like floating about, but like I said earlier, I'm not really sure if I'm ready to commit to Fourth Wing. And Danny knows what the spare room looks like, well, the library looks like. There's a lot of choice and books in here, and I really just don't know what I'm in the mood for. I am sort of going through like a stage of reading really short books, because I seem to be fighting through them quicker. So I don't know if I want to pick up something that's really chunky like Fourth Wing. But then again, I don't really know what I want to read. My TBRs kind of went out the window for this month, but I mean, I do call it my TBR, not TBR for a reason. I poached eggs on toast, mushrooms, and tomatoes. I was literally talking about poached eggs earlier. I love poached eggs, but I just cannot make them for the life of me. And I've bought like little machine things that apparently make poached eggs where you make it easy. Did I make them? No, they were like that slimy sort of feeling when they came out. So I've just come to terms with the fact I can't make a poached egg. So if I go out anywhere for breakfast and poached eggs is on the menu, that is what I will pick because delicious. Ooh, yum. Just washed up, so I'm now ready to read next sprint. Sprint. I'm reading Dust Child. I've never heard of that before. Is that a fantasy, Catherine? Only on the weekends. Thank you, Steph. I'm so sorry that I forgot. I'm reading Rise of Legends by Chris Ruler. It's a sci-fi urban fantasy arc due on Thursday, so I had to start today. That sounds really good. I've never heard of that before, but thank you for putting that on my radar. But it's out this Thursday if anyone wants to buy Rise of Legends. Do you own A Touch of Darkness? I spy it on my shelf and it's short. Do you know something? I have A Touch of Darkness on my Kindle, but I can't remember what that's about. how short are we talking? Are we talking like 300 pages or sort of the 200 page mark? Because I seem to be reading books that are just over the 200 page mark just now. I have no idea why, but I just am. I'm reading really weird books that I wouldn't usually go to pick up. I'm going through some very strange thoughts when it comes to reading just now. Did you finish the Serpents and Wings book? No, I think I'm still only 22 pages through that. I started that, I had really good intentions with that, and then I put that down and did not return to it. Which is really bad because I feel like I'm probably going to really enjoy it, but I don't know what happened. I don't know why I stopped, but I don't think I'm in the mood for that. I don't seem to be in like a fantasy mood just now, which is a bit weird. I use the hob silicone things I pop in the saucepan with water. I've tried that. I also bought like a big plastic thing that had like different layers, and you put water in one bit, you put your eggs in the other bit, and they're in like this little silicone thing, and it's meant to poach them, and it just doesn't. It doesn't. I'm not an egg poacher. It's not my vocation in life to be an egg poacher, apparently. I've tried so many times. I genuinely love poached eggs so much. And Daniel and I got a Costco card recently as well, and we bought so many eggs from Costco, but we just ended up scrambling them because poached eggs just was not gonna happen. Dust Child is a historical fiction set during the Vietnam War. It's really good. I will take your word for that, Catherine, because I know for a fact that that is not something I would pick up. 100% would not pick up, because historical fiction, war, I'm sure you'll love it, but I would hate it. I just know I would hate it. Hades and Persephone book. It looked short, but actually it's 377 pages. 377 pages isn't too bad. I've also not read any Hades and Persephone books yet. Like retellings. I own so many of them. Like I bought like, well, maybe not just Hades and Persephone, but I bought like Pandora and like Stoneblind and all of those, and they're beautiful books, and I bought special editions of them from Waterstones when I worked there. But have I read them? No. No, I haven't. But I do keep buying them. So obviously the interest is there, but I'm just not picking them up. Yeah. An easy romance or a thriller. I have not read like a proper romance or like something smutty in ages, and it's not that I went off it because I'm smut for life, but I don't know. I'm just really lacking in it. It's not a Katie book. I know. As soon as I saw historical fiction and war, I was like, I'm out. More a Danny book. 100% I agree. Dust Child does sound more like Danny's kind of book. Cross posted. Know you too well, Danny. Yep. And Katie's taste too. Yeah, I am not a historical fiction girly. Do you know what's funny though? I do own historical fiction, but whenever I buy a book, like, was it Once and Future Witches? This one? Like, I am really wanting to read this, and I pick it up all the time thinking, yeah, I'm gonna read it, and it's nice and it's floppy. But I heard it's historical fiction, so like I'm not gonna read it. So yeah. And I would probably love it, but it scares me because it's classed as historical fiction. But it's about witches, and I love stuff about witches, so I really should pick it up. But yeah, I don't know what I'm in the mood for, and it's very difficult. And I do have a few romances, like I've got Hook, Line and Sinker. I've not read that. I loved It Happened One Summer, but I read that ages ago and then never picked it up. I want to read His Majesty's Royal Coven. Yeah, there's too many options. I think that's what my problem is. I don't know. I can manage some historical fantasy, but just pure historical fiction, especially in World War II, is not for me. Yeah, I struggled when I was reading the ACOTAR series. When it came to ACOWAR, I really struggled because of the war element. Now, I love that series, like absolutely love it, but it took me so long to read that one just because it was so wary, shall we say. Too many choices is tough. It really is tough. And I think when you make TBR videos and you know that you're probably not going to read all the all the books on your TBR, it makes it even more difficult. And when you're a mood reader as well, it's kind of very similar because you just don't know what mood you're going to be in for that month. But I don't know what I'm in the mood for today, like at all. I really genuinely don't. And I think because this Dogs of Summer book, I'm not enjoying it hugely. I'm scared it's going to make me slumpy because I just feel like I can't pull any kind of book choice from my brain to try and pick to read, which is infuriating. But yeah, I don't know. I do have Obsidio on my TBR for this month, and that would be quite a quick read. DNF the book Katie. I've got 12 minutes left of it. 12 minutes. I've invested like 2 hours into this book already, and I'm 12 minutes away, so I'm just gonna finish it. And on a Kindle, it's probably only got 6 minutes left, so it's only 6 more minutes of my life that I'm gonna waste and not be able to get back to finishing this book. And the end could be spectacular. It's probably not going to be, but it could be spectacular. DNF the book. You can do it. We believe. Thank you. I am gonna finish it because I am 48 in my goal. Out of 60 for the year, and I think that would be 49. So yeah, I'm getting it done. It's not terrible. I just don't think it gels well with me. Oh, don't then. I just class that as read. No, I have to complete it. I really struggle with DNFing. It's so hard. So yeah, no, I'm not gonna DNF it. I might have some stuff on my Kindle that I could maybe like look through and say what I've got, and you guys could maybe tell me if I should invest my time in it or not. I've got so much on my Kindle. I just don't know. I've got it, my Kindle's also filled so much with. Remember when it was like that free ebook day, and I've got like so much random stuff like Age of Wolves and Velvet and all this smutty stuff. And yeah, maybe I need to read an Ice Planet Barbarian book. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't read one of them for ages. I was actually talking about those books to Daniel last night, and he was like, I don't know if I could get on board with that. I don't know what my Kindle's doing. Just go away, please. I'm a 50 out of 52 for my goal. That's amazing. Like, you are crushing that. I'm so behind on my goal. Danny, you are, but do you know what? You're going to pick up the pace. You are going to do it. You're going to get this. I don't know if I've got... I can't remember which Ice Planet Barbarian I'm up to. I want to say I've read the first two. But I'm not sure. And that was fun. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I can be bothered. I'm 16 out of 52. Hey, that's 16 books. That's still something. And you've read Crescent City as well. That was quite a chunky one. Go for it if it's something that gets you out of your slump feeling. Sounds like you're reading Mojo is Back, Danny. It's still 4 months of the year left. Exactly. You've still got plenty of time. You could read graphic novels. You could read manga. I know that you don't really tend to read them that often, but I mean, you never know. You could pick something up and you could love it. The other thing that I am thinking of reading is there's the Mass-Along on, and I read Throne of Glass in like 2016, and I think Throne of Glass was last month's one, but in my head I'm like, do I just read that so I can refresh my brain, because I want to read Crown of Midnight this month. So maybe I could pick up Throne of Glass, but I don't know if that would be a quick read. And I didn't really love it the first time I read it. I know that's terrible, but I hadn't read ACOTAR or anything and didn't love Sarah J Maas at that point, so my opinion of that has changed. I might love it a little bit more. Yeah, I'm going to reread all the Heartstoppers too, so that's 4 right there. Exactly. I really need to reread them because I watched season 2 and absolutely loved it and want to binge that again. I binged that all in one night and stayed up till 2:30 in the morning a couple of weekends ago, and I do not regret my life choices. Reading is for fun, not a race. 100%. I feel like we all put so much pressure on ourselves to do our reading goals, and we absolutely don't need to. Like, it's a hobby, it's something fun. Why do we put so much pressure on ourselves? We do not need to do that. So Danny, stop being so hard on yourself. It's fine. So true, Catherine. Throne of Glass live show is next week. Exactly. So that's what I was thinking. Maybe I could reread Throne of Glass. I think it's quite fast though, isn't it? It's not super long. I can't remember how long Throne of Glass is. Watch, it'll be like 500 pages or something. Let's see. Throne of Glass. I rated it 4 stars when I read it, and it was November 2016. I read it, 432 pages. I mean, I could. Throne of Glass is so good the further it goes on. I know Catherine's just finished it. My sister just binged the whole series within like a month. My sister is a machine when it comes to reading. She just finished Kingdom of Ash the other night. So yeah. Oh, Kingdom of Ash is too long. So yeah, Catherine was saying that to me yesterday, that Kingdom of Ash could have been a little bit shorter. And it's what, 980 pages or something? That's a lot. I think that's what I'm reading next. It's a long audiobook. Is that Crown of Midnight or Throne of Glass, Steph, that you're referring to? I mean, the book I'm reading now is 668 pages, so I seem to be reading all the chunky books. Yeah, but that's absolutely fine. Like, I love a chunky book. I mean, I've not read many recently, but I do love them. My only problem is if I start Throne of Glass, I'm going to want to binge the whole series because I get addicted to it and then do that. But I don't think I will do dedicated reading vlogs when I'm doing the Throne of Glass series. Not like I did with ACOTAR and Crescent City. I think I'm just going to read them for enjoyment and then do a wrap up of them, possibly. I'm not really sure. Doing dedicated reading vlogs is quite a lot of work when you're weekly vlogging as well. And I get confused with clips and things, and it makes editing a bit difficult for my brain. Throne of Glass. Cool. How long is the audiobook? I'm going to read it physically because I do not have the audiobook, and I did check my library app and they do not have the audiobook either, which is infuriating because I would have probably preferred to reread that audibly. But I think I might pick up Throne of Glass and see how I get on with that. Nothing wrong with binging a series. It is when that series is like 10 books long. I recently read the Prison Healer series and I loved it. I have the first one of that on my Kindle. Would I even like that? I'm not really sure. I think it was in the 99p deal and I just snapped it up because that's what we do. I am going to sort the next sprint. How do we feel about a 50-minute sprint? I know it's really random, but I would quite like to do a 50-minute sprint. I'm gonna get the cat because I miss the cat timer. Let me just get. Oh, it's so cute. I changed the cat to Ginger because I love a ginger cat. So how does everyone feel about 50 minutes? 13 hours and 3 minutes. Oh, that's quite long. That puts me off wanting to pick up the book. But I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to pick it up for the sprint and then see how I feel. I know I just said that I wasn't in the mood to read fantasy, but there we are. Oh, Danny, I need to get back to the Prison Healer series. So good, Catherine. Loved the first book. Sounds good. Okay, everyone's on board with 50 minutes. Whatever works for me. I am just a bumbling mess today, full of the cold. So whatever is good for everyone else, I am happy with. Excuse me while I just... My goodness, this is the clickiest thing ever. Set time. There we go. Right, so let's do a 50-minute sprint and I will see you all after that. I have got up the nice pink one because I love pink. Aren't we all? Okay, so let's start the sprint. Hopefully it's going to start this time and not go the way it did last time. But I will see you all in 15 minutes. Hello, hello. I'm trying not to scare everyone when we come back. How did everyone get on? I did not pick up Throne of Glass. Are we surprised though? Because I am not. I did, however, pick up. We had to remove this post. It's a really short one. I picked this up a while ago, and it's about someone that worked for a company who reviews posts that have been online and they've been flagged by like bots or by people and reported, and all the content that they need to look through, and like how horrific a job that would be and how strict the job is, and how they've got all these terms and conditions and they've got all these rules for all this content that goes onto websites, and what is classed as being okay and what is not classed as being okay. And it's really fascinating so far. I did finish Dogs of Summer. That got a 3-star. It was not my favorite. I didn't hate it. I just wasn't a massive fan of it. But I got 34 pages in, but it is really short. It's literally like 130 pages or something. 137 pages. So I will probably get this finished quite quickly. But whilst I was reading, I did think that I think my next pick is going to be Velvet Was the Night by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, the person that wrote Mexican Gothic. I bought pretty much every book that they have released. I did not gel well with Mexican Gothic though. I just thought the premise of that was a bit meh. But this is like a noir novel. In 1970s Mexico City, while student protests and political unrest consume the city, the main character finds escape from her humdrum life and the stories of passion and danger filling the latest issue of Secret Romance. Yeah, it's something. I just feel like it would be a good little read. It is 284 pages, so again, another little quick read. So I'm probably going to finish this today. We've got like a 38-minute drive or something to the barbecue that we're going to today. So after the next sprint is probably going to be the last sprint, but I'm thinking of doing an hour if everybody's happy with that. And then I'll need to start getting ready to head out to the barbecue. So I'll get another hour of this read, and then I will read the rest of it in the car and probably finish that today. And then maybe start Velvet Was the Night again. It's not my TBR, but who cares? Not this guy. Let's see how we all got on. I read 67 pages and the window cleaner came. Did the window cleaner scare you? I do not have a window cleaner. I am the window cleaner, and I am terrible at remembering to clean the windows. I always forget that people can see the windows. So thanks, Catherine. I should probably get my windows cleaned. I made it to page 52, but may have to DNF. It's meh so far. On the plus side, having leftover pizza for lunch. Delicious. Did you order the pizza last night, or did you make it last night and you're just eating it? I'm very curious. That's not good that you feel like you need to DNF it. Like I said before the last sprint, I'm not particularly great at DNFing books, but I do suggest if someone's not enjoying a book to DNF it, even though I don't take my own advice. That's just on me. But the life is too short to read shit books. But I wish I could take that on board with myself, because I should have probably DNF'd Dogs of Summer, but I did not. But it's 3 stars and it's finished. And it's another one towards my goal. And then it brought me to this one. So there we are. Finished my book, was a 3-star, and started listening to more of Throne of Glass. Have you read Throne of Glass before, Steph? Or is this the first time you are reading it? Oh, I don't have Velvet Was the Night, but do have there others? I want to read Certain Dark Things in October. I'm thinking about reading Certain Dark Things in October because I have that as well. I'm actually quite excited about putting together my October TBR because I want to do a mix of like horror and thriller, because it's not something I pick up like a huge amount. I have read quite a lot of thrillers this year though. I read The Housemaid and The Housemaid's Secret and absolutely loved them. And I read another one, I think, did I read Verity this year? I don't think I did, but I really enjoyed Verity as well. he terrified Fluffy. She hid behind the bed. Oh no, poor Fluffy. I remember when I lived at home with my dad, and the window cleaner would come, and it would always freak me out. Like, always. Just the little like noise on the window, you'd think someone was breaking into the house. It used to terrify me. Yeah, we ordered Domino's pizza last night and it's still good. I've heard that I can't eat pizza for an array of reasons, but I've heard that cold pizza or leftover pizza and then reheated or eaten cold is really good the day afterwards. Some people say it's actually better the day afterwards than when you get it fresh. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. I've been DNFing more recently when I'm not enjoying a book. Life is too short. I 100% agree. Life is too short. I'm just not very good, like I said, at playing that into my own life and DNFing books when they should be DNF'd. But I like to give things a chance. That is my problem. I think that if I read it to the end, it might be really good. Sometimes I have been surprised, but a lot of the times I haven't. Steph says, nope, first time reading it, not sure how I feel about it so far. I must say, from reading the ACOTAR series and the Crescent City series so far, Throne of Glass is kind of totally different. I read that back in 2016, so I didn't have the same love of Sarah J Maas as I do now, but I did feel like I just didn't enjoy that book a huge amount. But I think it might be different. I think it's just because it's quite slow starting, but Sarah J Maas does know how to pull at your heartstrings. So from what I've heard, it is a really good series, but you've kind of got to get further into it to get the enjoyment out of it. So fingers crossed it does pique your interest a little bit more, Steph, and then you can continue with the series. I won't be here for the next full sprint as I need to go out at 11:45, but I've loved these sprints this morning. Thank you so much, Catherine. I want to get back into the habit of sprinting because I feel like I haven't done it for so long, and I thought it was going to be a bit weird sprinting on my own, but it's actually been not too bad. I was scared in case I was going to be sitting here speaking to myself, but thankfully I have not. If you hear a cat in the background, this is a household of 5 cats. Frankie is currently crying at the door because he wants attention. So I'm going to go through these comments as quickly as possible so I can go give him a cuddle. But yeah, I'm thinking of an hour. Is everybody happy with the last sprint being an hour? A lot less smut in the whole sort of Glass series. I have heard that. Is it more kind of like a fade to black, or is it kind of like she held his hand sort of scenario? Like which one is it? It's a great world though. Yeah, I've heard really good things about the world. But yeah, I don't know if it's a fade to black or a hand holding moment. I don't know what this is. I'm sorry. Yeah, plan on sticking with it for at least the first book, and then we shall see. I am gonna have to try and reread this or try and get it on audio to try and power through it. I don't know if I can physically read it again. I'm not a huge rereader, so I think if I've read something before, I can listen to it on audiobook. Apart from, I did try and listen to the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder audiobook because I read that physically last year, but I really struggled with that audiobook. Like the format of it was just, my brain couldn't deal with it. So I had to return that to library and give it to someone else because it was just too much for me. So I'm gonna have to read that physically because I really want to finish that series. I should really have just picked that up, but I didn't. A bit of both of those. So it's like a hand holding and a fade to black. That's fine. Like sometimes that's what's needed. It doesn't need to be smutty all the time. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy Sarah J Maas's smut, but a little bit of fade to black can sometimes be good. Unless you're wanting more, then that's annoying when you're wanting more and you're not getting that. But I think Haunting and Hunting Adeline scarred me, so I think my smut, I don't need that much smut in my life just now. Audible has the audiobook for Throne of Glass. I'm trying really hard not to have subscriptions that I don't need. Like I cancelled Kindle Unlimited because I was paying for it every month and I wasn't really using it. And I used to have Audible and I was finding it really difficult to like pick what to use for a credit, and it was just getting too much, so I cancelled that as well. I think Daniel cancelled Audible as well, because we were trying to save up money because we need to do stuff around the house, and we're also going on holiday next year. So we're trying to save where we can. So I'm trying not to use Audible. So I'm trying to use the library a lot more. A lot of the audiobooks I listen to, I do on the library app. Frankie. My library has Throne of Glass audiobook kit. It's on hold until November, but can give you my details if it's of interest in the future. Thank you so much, Catherine. I will probably have read it by then, but I'm not really sure. We'll just have to wait and see how my reading mood brain, where it takes me. Steph says fair enough. Okay, is everybody happy with the hour? I know Catherine is going to be heading off in a little bit. Frankie, I need to go and give him attention because he is needing attention. So I'm gonna have to go do that. I need to put a banner on saying that it's the last sprint. Perfect. So I am going to, yep, that's good. Let's do it. Enjoy the rest of the sprints. Everyone, thank you so much for joining, Catherine. Okay, let's get the last sprint done, on for an hour. Let's see if we can get some reading done, and I will see you all in an hour. Hello. Trying to be so quiet. How did everyone get on in that sprint? I really like our sprints. I feel like our sprints need to be more of a thing. I feel more productive. I feel like the first 10 minutes of a sprint, I'm trying to settle down and I go and do something. And an hour, I just feel like I get that out of the way, and then I get like a good 50 minutes of reading time. And that sprint was so good. I mean, I only started this in the last sprint, and I'm now on page 102, so I've got this much left, and I'm really enjoying it. It's really good. Um, it's probably going to be a 4-star for me, and I'm going to get this finished in the car on the way to the barbecue, so I'm very excited. I'm really glad that I picked this up. That was obviously just what I was needing, and I didn't even realize. I did no reading, been chatting with my mum, but I'm going to be productive this afternoon for sure. That sounds amazing. What have you got plan-wise for being productive? Is it just a little bit of cleaning? Is it any hobbies, any crafts or anything? I really need to get back into crafts. I have so much craft stuff, and I just never get round to doing it, and I really need to be better at doing that. I didn't read that sprint, watched a YouTube video and spoke to my pal. It sounds like everybody was catching up with everyone during that sprint, and that's amazing because, yeah, fair enough, I call them reading sprints, but they don't need to be used for reading. It's just for all of us to come together, have some time out, and just do what we need to do or what we would like to do. That's what sprints are all about. Bit of organising, bit of reading. Do you still feel like you're going to DNF the book that you're reading, or are you going to continue? How are you feeling about it? I am going to head off just shortly. This has been very productive for me reading wise, and I hope everybody feels like it's been very productive for them as well. I am going to finish this book today, and I'm excited. And it's probably something I would not have picked up if these sprints had not been on. So I'm very thankful. I will hopefully read Throne of Glass. We will see. Hopefully, Steph, it improves for you as well. I'm going to try a bit more, maybe get to 100 pages and see how I feel. I think that sounds like a good plan. 100 pages is like a good solid amount of time to give something a go and know whether you're going to gel with it or not. I 100% think 100 pages is a good shout. Well, I am going to head off shortly. Like I said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I'm going to try and do reading sprints next Saturday as well. I don't have any plans next Saturday though, so I could probably sprint for a little bit longer. This is probably one of the shorter sprints I've done. I used to do sprints for about 6 hours or so. But I am planning on trying to do Saturday sprints again because I love reading on a Saturday and it is the time that I get most of my reading done. So why not have people join in and we all do it together? Also, I will be scheduling the live show for How High We Go in the Dark. I think it's going to be the first Friday in October. So pencil that down. I will be scheduling that soon. I will probably schedule sprints for during the week next week as well, because Daniel's away from work for a good couple of days and I'm going to be in the house by myself with the cats. And I'll be reading anyway, so I might as well schedule some sprints. So keep an eye out for that as well. They might be a bit last minute. It'll just have to sort of be as and when I'm feeling it. Have a good rest of your day. You too. I hope that the book gets better for you. Enjoy the nice weather we have today. Yeah, it went a bit dark during that last sprint, but it seems to have brightened up again, which is really nice. So it's that kind of, I've got that little dilemma of what do I wear to the barbecue? Is it going to be cold when I get there? Is it nice now and then it'll get colder? I don't know. I don't want to go too summery and then the Scottish weather fails me, but we'll wait and see. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me today, and I will hopefully see you all soon, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your weekend if I don't speak to you all before then. See you later.